fall on top of you?
Probably. Hi, my name is Troy McClure. You may remember me from...
Alright, has a 20-minute time limit, so we gotta go. Okay. Sprout is lying in bed. It is midnight, and he is restless. He is running through his thoughts, trying to avoid a panic attack. Close-up of Sprout's eyes as they are focused in on the ceiling. Internal dialogue of Sprout. They're going to disown me. My family will be disappointed. How can I tell them the secret that can destroy them and me? He is breathing. His breath is becoming quicker, and he grips his fist into the sheets. Why me, of all people? Why was I given this burden? This secret identity that people are afraid of. This identity that I can be discriminated against because of. I just want to wish it all away. My life would be so much easier if I didn't have to constantly worry about this. Constantly have to hide who I am. Do I even know who I am? A side shot of Castor's face as he closes his eyes and a tear falls down. He falls asleep shortly after. Next scene, Sprout is lying in bed in the morning. He is already awake. The alarm goes off with a constant irritating buzzing sound. Sprout lets out a sigh and reaches over to turn the alarm off. Sprout enters the kitchen where his mother is making toast with peanut butter for herself.
Good morning, kiddo. How'd you sleep?
When I finally fell asleep pretty well.
The dog kept snoring all night and kept having nightmares, so my sleep was limited.
She can sleep with me tonight then. The snoring doesn't bother me.
What do you have planned for after school today?
Sprout getting orange juice out of the fridge. I have basketball practice till 4, then I have a project to work on.
I'm staying late at work, then going to dinner with your father, so we won't be home till late. Want us to bring you something home to eat?
No thanks. I still have stuff for a salad in the fridge, or I can drive through somewhere on the way home. Sonora putting the last bit of peanut butter on her toast.
Alrighty then. I'm going to head to work before I'm late. Love you. Have a great day.
Okay, see you later. Love you. He watched his mom walk out of the door, and each time she did that, he imagined that she was walking out of his life, like he had told her a horrible secret that she couldn't handle. Castor has pulled into the parking lot of the high school and is waiting in his car for the first bell to ring. It's a shot of what Sprout would be seeing through his eyes. Sprout, he grips the wheel hardly while he softly closes his eyes, inhaling through his nose and slowly exhaling through his mouth to reduce the stress, whispering these lines to himself as the first bell rang. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. He watched as couples made out on the front yard of the school, as friends got into their usual cliques to congregate. Even though there was a lot going on outside, Sprout felt like he was in his own world in his car. He felt protected and free of judgment or hate from the outside world. Next shot is the hallway of the school. Castor is walking among other students in the school. Castor walks by 2 jock football boys in the school known for bullying. He keeps his head down and says nothing. After Castor passes, one of the boys yells,
Hey, Pat!
Castor refused to turn around, afraid the bully was talking to him.
Pat, I'm talking to you.
Castor clenched his fist and felt anger pouring over him. He knew he was about to be embarrassed and harassed by 2 bullies. As he was about to turn around and say something to the boys, but someone spoke up. Danny, a flamboyant gay who wasn't afraid of being who he was, came strutting down the hallway.
Boy, shut the hell up. Ain't nobody got time for your petty bullshit. Don't you have some men to be tackling or something?
Mrs. Woolman came down the hallway before one of the bullies could respond to Danny.
Alright students, get to class. Tardies will be given to those who don't show up to class on time, and 3 tardies equals after school detention.
Castor is in his 5th hour class now. He's sitting next to one of his good friends, Molly. He hears two girls whispering something about him, then look over to him with a hateful, disgusted look. Sammy, whispering,
Oh, that's me, sorry. Yeah, I heard he was gay. Isn't that disgusting?
Joanne, giggling a little bit.
Yeah, I always thought he was. Not surprised.
Sprout, becoming very anxious and sweaty, has internal dialogue. How do they know? I didn't tell anyone. What if they tell my family? Maybe Emily said something to them. No, she wouldn't. She promised she wouldn't. More people begin whispering at and staring at Sprout as if something is wrong with him. Sprout, heartbeat has increased greatly and his eyelid begins to twitch. He is fighting tears back. The students are whispering, being gay is a sin and he is hellbound. How can he sit there and be okay with himself? Why would anyone want to choose to be gay? Sprout, as he looked around, he could feel the judgment everyone was casting upon him. He knew what it felt like to be the odd man out. Molly, shaking Sprout's hand.
Sprout, wake up.
Sprout felt his arm being shook, opened his eyes to class going on. What? What is it?
You were asleep and I didn't want you to get in trouble.
Thank you, I was having the worst dream. As he stood there, he had wondered if Molly really was okay with him being gay. She said she didn't care, but Molly was never confrontational and never wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. She said she just told him she accepted him to avoid confrontation. No, he told himself, Molly is a great friend and comes from a genuine place. She was the only person I've shared my secret with. The rest of the class, Sprout thinks to himself how happy he was that he was just having a nightmare earlier and that no one knew his secret, which he feared the most. Next scene, Sprout is arriving home from school and knows his sister's car in the driveway. Medium close-up of Sprout opening the door to see his sister and her baby sitting on the couch.
Hey brother, how was school?
Hey, it was okay. Glad to be home. I'm exhausted.
Are you not sleeping well again?
He thought to himself for a minute, then decided not to tell his sister about the lack of sleep he is getting. No, I'm sleeping just fine, just tired from school. He knew his sister would worry about him, and she was already consumed enough with the birth of her new child. Next scene, Sprout is walking into the kitchen and drops his school bag next to the bar. He walks over to the fridge and grabs the water. Sarah Lynn is changing the baby's diaper in the living room. Close-up shot of Sprout drinking the water and then placing it down on the counter. He takes in a big breath as he closes his eyes, trying to reset himself from his school mindset. He lets out a huge sigh and rubs his face with his hands. He is trying to wipe off the look of exhaustion and stress. He doesn't like for his sister to see him like this. Sprout walks into the living room and goes over to Sarah Lynn. Sprout says, well, now since you've changed him and he's clean, I guess this would be a great time to hold him.
You know you'll have to change him eventually, right?
Sprout, he is carrying the baby around, swaying him and making faces. Well, yeah, but I want to avoid it as long as I can. I just can't stomach a dirty diaper. I don't even know how you can.
Well, I just go into mommy mode when I do. I don't smell anything. I just get in there and get it done.
Sprout, laughing a little bit while looking at the baby, talks to him in a baby voice. Do you make dirty diapers, Ash? Do you? Ash, giggling and kicking. Sprout takes a seat in the rocking chair. It is Ash's favorite place to fall asleep, and Sprout needs to sit to rest. Close-up of Sprout giving Ash a pinky while they are sitting down. Sprout, so how are you liking your new job at the dentistry office?
It's going really good so far. I'm glad Courtney and I got jobs at the same place so we can carpool to work and save money on gas. And it's nice to work with someone I know too.
Good to hear. How was leaving Ash with Diana again? I know you were afraid. It's okay. I know you were afraid he'd be too much for her to handle.
It's going great so far. Nothing has went wrong and she hasn't complained about him being a handful. Maybe I was just over worrying about it. My motherly instinct is kicking in, I guess. You know how that is.
Sprout, laughing slightly. Yeah, I know exactly how it is. Next scene, the two didn't talk for 5 minutes or so while Ash slept for a bit. Sarah Lynn was going through her Facebook feed. Sprout was starting to doze off, then Ash began to get fussy and cry a little bit. Sprout didn't know what was wrong and turned to Sarah Lynn. He's getting fussy. Surely he doesn't need to be changed already, right?
No, probably not. What time is it?
It is 4:45.
Yeah, I'm going to have to feed him at 5, so he's probably hungry.
I can feed him if you'd like.
Well, I'm still breastfeeding, unless you want to try that on you.
Yeah, I can give it a go.
Where are you going? Do you not want to stay and watch? It's a beautiful thing between a mother and her baby.
Nah, I have some homework to do, and maybe then take a nap before dinner. Are you staying for dinner?
It's free food, right?
Well, yeah.
Then yeah, I'm staying. I'll be sure to wake you up for dinner.
Yeah, tell Mom and Dad not to wake me when they come home.
You know how Dad is, but I'll tell him.
Next scene, Sprout is sitting in his ensuite on the toilet seat with the lid down. He is holding his pipe in his hand with the bowl already loaded. Close up of Sprout holding the pipe in his hand. His hands are fidgeting with the small pipe. He is breathing heavily but slowly, trying to calm himself down. He brings the pipe to his mouth and takes a small hit. Puffing the marijuana into his lungs, he holds it there before slowly exhaling it. As he does, he releases his shoulders to let go of any tension he is holding. This was Sprout's way of releasing his stress and escaping his worryful thoughts. Next scene, Sprout leaves the bathroom and goes into his room. Sprout was in the center of his room, sitting Indian style with his hands together at his chest. He begins to do some stretches with deep breathing. Sprout, internal monologue as he stretches. Let it all go. There is nothing to worry about. Everything is okay. Sprout repeated those words to himself for a while longer, trying to get himself to focus on the yoga and not the many thoughts in his mind. After a while, everything became constant, and his mind wandered. He was having a spiritual high. He is completely aware of his surroundings, but paying no attention to them. The door swings open, and Sprout's dad is there.
Hey boy, what are you doing? Is that yoga shit your cousin taught you?
Sprout, clenching his fist, he was so irritated that his dad ruined his moment of relaxation. Yeah, it is. It helps me de-stress.
What do you have to be so worried about? You have such an easy life, and yoga doesn't help anyway. It's just stupid poses. But come on into the living room. Wheel of Fortune is on, and your mom thinks she can beat all of us.
Sprout closes his eyes and brings his hands to his chest. Okay, I'll be there in a few.
Okay.
Close up of Sprout as the door slams. He jumps a little because he is startled. He opens his eyes and rolls them, annoyed at his father for being rude. He leans over and gets up and goes into the living room. Next scene, Sprout walks into the living room where his sister is sitting on the couch with the baby in her lap, and his dad is sitting in the recliner. Sonora is in the kitchen preparing dinner. Close-up shot of Sonora looking out of the kitchen at the TV.
Sorry. The answer is knock knock. Who's there? I would like to solve the puzzle, Pat.
Go right ahead.
Knock knock. Who's there? Yes. That's one for me and none for y'all.
Sprout slouches down to the couch. Sarah Lynn is making faces at Ash to keep him from crying.
I was about to say that, but I was too busy with the baby.
The players on the show are introducing themselves. A shot of TV and the players on the show.
Hi, I'm.
And player 2 introduces herself as well.
Hi, I'm.
Player 3 introduces himself as well.
Hi, I'm Josh from Wyoming. I am a third grade teacher and a basketball coach for a youth group. In the audience, I have my handsome partner, Michael.
The camera on TV turns to the audience and shows Michael.
He's gay? He say he's a teacher. What partner would want their child to be taught by them?
And he coaches a basketball team. I bet he watches people change in the locker room. It seems like they always have a gay person on the show.
Sprout felt himself sink into the couch and looked at his sister and father as they made jokes about the man on television. Internal dialogue. Wow, would they say these things about me if they knew who I really am? I couldn't imagine them saying these things to me. Is this really how they feel? I don't want to be associated with these things. Sonora's in the kitchen and made no comment about the man. They continue watching the show.
Oh, he even talks like a fag. How embarrassed would you be if you were his parents? I mean, come on.
Sprout, looking at both of his parents, and has an internal monologue. Please don't answer that. Please don't answer that. Both parents said nothing, but Shallow shook his head in disgust. Sprout couldn't wait for it to be over. The next day in science class, medium shot of Sprout as the teacher up front told what was going on.
Okay, students. You will be getting into pairs to work on this project.
Sprout has internal monologue. Oh shit. I don't really know anyone but Andrew, and I really don't even know him.
You will be writing an essay and doing a PowerPoint over the plant you choose. In the essay and PowerPoint explains the plant's use, where it comes from, where it blooms, or whatever else it does. Be sure to pick one you can write quite a few things about before I will not be taking short and crappy projects. It is due 2 Fridays from now on the 24th. I will give you the class time today to pick your partner and plant.
Sprout, looking around and realizing just about every student had a partner. Medium shot of the classroom, Sprout leans over to the girl next to him, noticing she hasn't picked a partner yet. Hey, would you like to be my partner?
No thanks. I'm going to be partners with Jessica. She isn't here today, sorry.
Sprout takes another look around the classroom and realizes he is left without a partner.
Alright, students, has everyone picked a partner?
Yes!
Sprout wanted to say no. He was too embarrassed that he didn't get a partner. But he knew if he didn't say anything now, Mr. Blevins wouldn't get him a partner later. Sprout says, "Sir, I don't have a partner."
Sprout doesn't have a partner. Is there anyone else who doesn't have a partner?
Mr. Blevins scans the room with his eyes to look for a raised hand and sees none. The door opens and a boy is standing there. It is Castor.
Nice of you to join us today. I have already told the class what the assignment is, so you can ask ask one of them. And since you were late and don't have a partner, you and Sprout can be partners.
Okay, sounds great.
Sprout, feeling relieved that this guy he didn't know seemed to be nice, Castor comes over to the table that Sprout is sitting at.
Hey, I'm Castor.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sprout.
What an interesting name. How come I haven't met you before?
I'm not sure. When did you move here?
8th grade? So I have been here 3 years and I haven't saw you once. Well, that I know of.
That is odd. Well, I guess I will tell you what the assignment is. We have to pick a plant and do an essay and PowerPoint over it. If you have any suggestions, let me know, because I'm blank.
Well, I have a suggestion, but you might not like it, and the teacher may not accept it.
What is it?
Well, I was thinking marijuana.
Sprout. Yeah, that sounds good.
We can talk about the health benefits and all of its uses, and also how it makes you feel good as hell.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, so you smoke?
Yeah, I do.
Sweet. We can smoke while we do the project.
I'm down. The bell rang, class was over. Sprout and Castor gathered their things and began to leave.
Hey man, give me your number so we can stay in touch over this project and hang out some maybe.
Okay, sweet, here it is. Castor gets his phone out and hands it to Sprout.
Here, just put it in here and text yourself so you'll have my number.
Sprout puts his number in the phone and hands it back. There you go.
Thanks. See you around, man. Well, maybe.
Sprout is walking down the hallway with a smile on his face. Sprout has internal dialogue. Damn, I was so nervous about who's going to be my partner. Castor. How come I haven't seen him before? Why was he so nice to me? Oh well, he seemed to be a good person and I could use a good friend. This has been a good day. Next scene, Sprout comes home to his mom in the living room reading a book while the dog is chewing on a bone on the floor. Medium shot of Sprout coming through the door.
Hey honey, how was your day?
It was pretty good, can't complain. How was your day?
It was good. I took off early from work. Just got tired of being there.
Yeah, I want to leave school today, but decided not to.
Yeah, leaving school wouldn't be a very smart thing to do.
I know, Mom, I was just saying. Buzz, buzz. Sprout's phone had vibrated in his pocket. Sprout quickly pulled it out to check it. It was a message from Castor.
Oh. Hey man, what's up? Hope it's not weird that I texted you. Haha.
Sprout let out a small smile. His mother noticed this and said something to him. What is it, Sprout? Seem to have made you happy. Oh, it's just a funny text I got.
Well, alright. I'm going to go back to reading this book. I put your clean laundry on your bed and put your shirts on hangers.
Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Love you too.
Sprout enters his room, mentally pulls out his phone and opens the text from Castor. He stares at his phone for a second, trying to articulate a good response. Sprout, replying to the text, oh, nothing much, just chilling right now. Thinking about doing homework, and don't worry about it, you're good. Sprout puts the phone down on his bed and smiles to himself. He starts to pick up and tidy his room. His phone goes off again. He runs over to investigate. There was a text from Castor again.
Sweet. I'm really glad we got partnered up today. You seem like a cool guy. I mean, you smoke so you already are, but still. This may be even more weird, but it was almost like we were meant to be partners or something. I probably sound crazy in person.
Sprout, no, I hear you. I was nervous about who my partner was and had given up on looking for one. Then you walked in and Mr. Blevins assigned us together.
I'm glad you did because no one else would want to do marijuana for their presentation with me. Haha.
Sprout and Castor continue texting back and forth while Sprout picks up his room. It is night now and Sprout is lying in bed reading a book and still texting Castor.
Well, since I don't seem to weird you out or scare you off, would you like to hang out tomorrow maybe?
Sprout, surprised that Castor already asked to hang out, but is excited he did. Yes, I would. I'm free tomorrow night.
Sweet, me too. So we can hang out at my place and order a pizza or something. But I'm about to fall asleep, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Alrighty then, see you tomorrow. Sprout is lying in bed, looking at the ceiling. He inhales a large breath through his nose and exhales through his mouth. He lets a smile across his face as he wiggles under the covers. He is so happy to have a potential friend, but Sprout also feels uneasy. Sprout lied there for a minute without thinking or saying anything and decided something. Sprout has internal dialogue. I'm going to tell him. When we hang out tomorrow, I'm going to tell him. If he accepts me, fine. If he doesn't, well then his loss. Next scene, Sprout has decided to come out to his potential friend Castor. They are hanging out at Castor's home inside his bedroom. Castor had sent the directions to his house to Sprout the morning before they hung out. Sprout pulled up to a modern home nestled on a couple acres. He is surprised to see such a nice house. Pastor